And welcome into the Rob and Kale Show. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening. I have to apologize to my podcast co-host up front. We talked about something last night. I was not able to come through on my end, even though we went shopping today. But Jackpot came through on his. Welcome into the show, Mr. Carolina Jackpot.
What's going on, guys? I'm feeling festive today. Thought I'd put on my 4th of July lay. I feel like it goes pretty well with this T-shirt that's representing a bunch of fucking losers. Got a flag behind me here representing a bunch of fucking losers on the baseball field. So everything is good. It's all right.
Well, we were going to we were trying to find lays like Jackpot's wearing there to go along with with Tennessee losing their starting quarterback to the transfer portal after the spring signing period. Shout out to Jay for the
Well, wait a minute. Now, wait. Hold on a second. You don't have yours on.
I couldn't find one, Jackpot. That's why I apologize.
You motherfucker.
You
You told me to go to Dollar Tree. I went to Dollar Tree. I was within Dollar Tree within 15 minutes of when we talked about it because we just got done eating at the Mexican restaurant. And I shot into the Dollar Tree there in Lyman, South Kakalaki, picked myself up a lay.
I went to Dollar Tree today. I went to Walmart. I went to Target. I went to Five Below. I went to Kroger. Nobody had any of those fucking things down here. So you just have to carry. Yeah, we went to Michael's.
Just tell me you forgot. You forgot.
Brother, I had the wife out looking with me today.
You
did not forget. I mean, we were trying to be festive for you Tennessee fans because they still have them on the NIL site from as of yesterday. You could still go and pay $18 for one if you want one. I'm sure that those are going to go running off the shelves there, Jackpot. So there's that. Anyway, shout out to Jay for the super chat. Vol in tears. Yeah. Look, Tennessee fans, we're going to do SEC over and under tonight. We got to talk about this first, Jackpot. I went back and looked at some of our archives, and both you and I both said, let's hold off on calling this guy the second coming at quarterback because he hasn't proven that yet. But, I mean, you remember saying that. I know that you said it. I know that I said it. I said point blank, hey, this guy's not going to be, we have to give him a little more time before we think that he's going to be the second coming. Now, the Tennessee folks were like, my God, this is the best quarterback ever. Remember the comparisons to some people called him a skinny Cam Newton. And I mean, there were just all kinds of just.
Heard that. I believe old Sports Talk Jabroni's comparison was he was a taller Bryce Young. He was a magic man. They said he's here 1 minute and then poof, he's gone the next down the field. Well, it kind of worked out like that. Kind of did. He was here 1 minute and poof, he's gone. Well, he gave them one of these, as Uncle Lou said. But here's my thing about it too that grinds my gears just a little bit. Is I like the way they handled the situation, which is all well and good, but it also means that I have to turn around and give them credit. And so is the rest of the world of college football. Tennessee's getting a big, huge pat on the back. John Hopeful's looking like a hero. He's looking like the man, okay? It's Josh Heupel 2028, okay? I mean, everybody loves what they did. They always come out smelling like a fucking rose.
Well,
no matter what, they come out smelling like a fucking rose. They're everybody's hero for doing exactly what anybody else would have done. Anybody else would have done.
You're exactly right.
I think.
Look, you really think that anybody in their right mind was going to give a quarterback $2 million more a year in addition to the $2 million they were going to give him to be the 8th best passing yards quarterback in the SEC?
Nope.
It wasn't like they.
No, and it's gonna be a huge drama fest here for the next however many weeks. So until he decides to go on ahead and go somewhere. Big Orange says I generally like them, so I let them talk. I guess okay. I guess if you didn't like us, you're gonna throw a napalm bomb in the cog wheels of the podcast or something.
I don't know.
Professor Cador is here.
Well, welcome, sir.
Says Megan.
Anyway, but hey, here's the thing, though, and this is just Tennessee did exactly what Jackpot said. They said point blank, "You're not going to hold us over the barrel," and you're not even. Peyton Thorne threw for more yards than this guy did last year at Auburn, and he's not even there anymore. Auburn had to, it's amazing to me the balls that some, and I don't think it's the kids. I think it's the parents and the coaches and all these other advisors for these kids giving them bad information. Oh, well, you're worth $4 million. Motherfucker, you weren't even in the top half of the passers in the conference. You should take your 2 and hope they don't come back and take a pay cut. So,
I noticed our buddy Zach Smith with his podcast. He was tweeting out some stuff about it. I think it was yesterday that any team that turns around and takes him now fucking sucks. And is they're bitch-made bitches if they turn around and take this fucker right now. So,
yeah, I agree with you.
I think that's about that's the consensus everywhere. He's turned himself into a giant heel with just one fell swoop. And it kind of, maybe it's been brewing, but kind of came out of nowhere for me. I certainly didn't see this coming or expect it.
Well, here's the thing, though. When it comes down to it, it's pretty simple. He can't go anywhere within the SEC because it's after spring ball. So the reality is that he's probably going to end up on a West Coast team going back across the country. The stuff I've read said that UCLA, Southern Cal may be in the mix. I don't know. There's also talk that Notre Dame. I read like 3 things today saying watch out for Notre Dame. If any football coach is stupid enough to let this happen to their program, I have no sympathy for them. None. Absolutely none.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think they're going to. That doesn't seem like a good fit to me. Marcus Freeman definitely seems to be all about the business. And it just doesn't seem like a good fit. He doesn't seem like a good fit anywhere, but he's going to end up somewhere. I'm really thinking he's going to end up with one of the West Coast teams. And originally I thought he might end up at Oregon, but so it turns out that maybe the Oregon coach Lanning maybe kind of blew the whistle on him and kind of clued John Hopeful into what was going on with him. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I read. And, what a mess. And,
even Mario Crystal Balls, they were interviewing him, and he said he wouldn't put up with that.
Yeah.
So it looks like this guy is going to have a hard time finding a landing spot, maybe.
Right.
And I bet you if he finds a landing spot, he's probably going to find a landing spot for probably about what he was making at Tennessee, because they're probably not going to pay him any more than that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Just not because they're going to look like fools. Nobody wants to look like a fool on purpose. Right. Now, people are fine with looking like a fool if you do something dumb and it turns out that you look like a fool just because of circumstances. If you go in doing something that you know is going to make you look like a fool, you're apt not to do it. So that's why I don't think anybody's going to give him the kind of money he's looking for.
Well, he'll end up somewhere, but I don't know if that's going to happen. As far as if he gets what he got at Tennessee, I would be stunned. I would be absolutely stunned. Now, here's the other thing, too. I haven't heard anything from him. All right. So the only thing we have is the Tennessee side of the story. There's two sides to both of them. I don't know what it is, but I'd be interested to hear what his story is going to be. And he probably can't put anything out there until he gets all of his ducks in a row, which gives Tennessee the opportunity to be like, you know what? What was it Heupel said? No one's bigger than the program. Shut the hell up. I want to hear that shit. Ridiculous. Big Barney Ross.
He should. No, he should. What more accurately, he should have said was no one's bigger than me.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, Sports Talk Jabroni was saying that he didn't even speak to Josh Heupel, like wouldn't even take his call or something like that. Apparently,
I did read.
What a piece of shit.
did read online from a couple of folks that I had that I follow that I know are legitimate writers and all that stuff, and apparently he had like autograph signings and stuff that he was contractually obligated to do as part of his NIL deal, and he just ghosted them, just didn't go. And so the inside stuff is now.
When was this? Like earlier? You mean was this earlier
in his along his tenure?
Spring?
Yeah, I mean he didn't apparently he was tough to get a hold of a lot of the time, according to some of the stuff that I've read. So now that's just what these writers have said. He may be as innocent as pure snow. I don't know. If he's not saying anything, then I can sit here and put out what information that I have, and you can make your own decision. It's pretty much what the way it's going to go. But Kentucky Blue Balls channel with a super chat. Nico to UCLA and has to face Tennessee in a bowl game. Yep, that would be some funny shit. That would be some network television drama right there. All right, Jackpot. Look, we're going to give people a chance to talk about that, but we promised we would do that.
Dex War Eagle says the Gamecocks just don't have a bright future for 2025. I agree. Be lucky to win 2 games. Probably have a Florida State type season. What I'm thinking.
Well, look, we'll get to South Carolina and all that in a minute. We got to talk about the Gamecock baseball team and how they lost yesterday in just a galactic way that I don't think I've ever seen a team lose like they lost yesterday. So we'll get into that later on. I don't want to piss Jackpot off this early in the show. But let's do over and under for Alabama. They've got them at – these are from FanDuel, by the way. Alabama's at 9.5. Here's the schedule, Jackpot. They've got Florida State, Louisiana Monroe, Wisconsin, Vanderbilt, at Missou, Tennessee, at South Carolina, LSU, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois. They also play at Georgia and at Auburn. So they've got a tough schedule there, Jackpot, in theory.
Mm-hmm.
I give South Carolina shit, but winning at Williams-Brice, I mean, that used to be a tough thing to do. And the Gamecocks generally play well at home. So I would think that's a tough out there. Going to Georgia is a tough out. Winning the Iron Bowl on the road, that's a tough out, even though I think Hugh Freeze is a douche.
Absolutely.
But with that, over and unders at 9.5, Jackpot. They got a new offensive coordinator with Ryan Grubb. Man, I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, see where they're going to go, but it's kind of hard for me to sit here and say, all right, you're going to go under 9.5. So you got them
under.
You got them at 9 wins or 8 wins?
Either 8 or 9. I could see either one. I would think most likely. I think most likely 9. The 8's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. What if Auburn gets their shit together? I mean,
what if DeBoer
I don't think they win. I think they're losing at Georgia.
What if
I think they are.
You ever thought about that?
What
if DeBoer is a flop?
Well, I mean, that's likely. I think they're losing to my Gamecocks. I think the LSU game, normally they win that one at home. But, I mean, you got them and an Oklahoma team that may be improved back to back. Oklahoma beat you last year. And then you go to Auburn. That's a tough one to end the season with. I mean, I think they might get – I mean, they haven't lost to Auburn in a while.
Right. Well,
that thing kind of goes in streaks kind of.
My thing is
it's high time they could get upset. So.
I think I'm going to go with the under as well, even though it's kind of hard for me to sit here because generally when you bet against Alabama, but you end up losing. But that's the Nick Saban years. I'm looking forward to the moonwalk, sir. And what I mean by the moonwalk is the people that put over DeBoer as, oh my God, he's the best coach ever, and he's just going to fill right in and do his thing. The Josh Pates of the world who just had this mad obsession with this guy. He flops this year, and by flop, I mean go 8-4. He's going to get his ass fired. And then what?
Oh, 100%.
So we'll see how that works out. All right, so both got Alabama on the under. And by the way, these are our spring stuff here. We'll redo this again when training camp starts. Arkansas over and under at 5. Sam Pittman did save his job last year.
Heavy juice. Well, not real heavy juice. There is juice to the under with them also.
Oh, so. For Alabama? Yeah.
All
right, so here's Arkansas. Pittman saved his job last year, but their whole roster is turning over. Their over and unders at 5.5 jackpot. They've got Alabama A&M, Arkansas State. They play at Memphis, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, and Missou. They've also got Ole Miss, Notre Dame. They play at Tennessee. They've got Auburn. They're at LSU, and they're at Texas. So I see, just off the rip, I'm going to go under a jackpot. I don't see 6 wins there. You think Pittman's?
No, I don't either. I mean, I see like.
I got 4. I'll give you 4.
I see Mississippi State, dude. I see like 3. I see Mississippi State, Mississippi State, Alabama, A&M, and Arkansas State. Yeah. And where do you see a 4th win?
I figured they would upset somebody.
I mean, they might beat Auburn at home. I could see.
I'm just saying they upset somebody.
Mizzou at home. Mm-hmm.
Well, Arkansas is Mizzou's toilet. That's not happening.
Yeah, well, it depends on who's healthier by that point. They play Texas A&M at home. Thank God. Are we finally done with playing Jerry World?
I hope so. I don't make any sense.
Yeah, because that was just dumb. Make any damn sense to me why you play that game there. I mean, I understand like the Florida-Georgia game, the cocktail party deal. I mean, it's that is what it is. But come on. I mean, this is speaking of that one, that's not like some game that's like has a huge tradition there of being played in Dallas. Florida and Georgia, the stadium in Jacksonville, they're remodeling it or they're doing something, right?
Something like that, yeah.
So 2 years, I understand they're not going to play that game in Jacksonville.
From what I gather, yeah. I think that's what I read. I could be.
Where are they having it at?
I don't know. I'd have to research that jackpot. I didn't think about that, but yeah, they're playing it somewhere else. We'll have to see about that. I'll figure that out.
Where is Jacksonville going to play their games at?
I don't know. I did not know. I'll have to find that out. Hold on. I'll Google that right now.
Because right now it says it's in Everbank Stadium this year.
Let me see if I can pull this up really quick. All right. Are you taking the over? Are you taking the under there, right?
Yeah, under. Okay, 2026, they're playing in Atlanta.
Yeah, there you go.
Mercedes-Benz. 2027, they're playing it in Raymond James Stadium in Tampa.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, so is that where? I mean, yeah, just try to find out where is Jacksonville going to play their games that may not be decided yet. Surely they're not going to go on the road for a bunch of games.
We'll have to see, man. We'll have to see on that one. Our next team on the list, Jackpot, is Auburn. Over and under for Auburn is at 7.5. They play at Baylor. They got Ball State, South Alabama, Missou, at Arkansas, Kentucky. They play at Vandy, Mercer, and Alabama. They also play at Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and Georgia. I think they win 7 games.
Okay. Let me take a look at this one real quick. Let's see. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins. Okay, so I see 5 games that so I'm pretty confident on Ball State, South Alabama. I'm gonna say I'm confident on Arkansas, Kentucky, and Mercer. Now, are we confident they're going to be able to knock off Vandy at Nashville?
Here's a stat for you. Jackson Arnold, who is their quarterback, Hugh Freeze, this is the stat. Hugh Freeze is 0-3 against Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia. So anytime Pavia plays Hugh Freeze, it's a win. He's never lost to Hugh Freeze, which I know that, but for some reason he can't beat him. It's a weird thing.
They're extremely heavily juiced to the over for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is about this game. This Baylor game is kind of a swing game. It's weird to have a swing game like that right out of the gates, right. But that could be a really, really season-defining win. I mean, you go out there and lose, and then it gets a lot tougher, in my opinion. I mean, do you think is there a possibility they could upset Georgia? It's been a long time since they've beaten them.
I'm taking the under, Jackpot. I don't think they're going to be worth a shit. I don't think that Jackson Arnold's going to come in and turn them into this team that wins 9 or 10 games. So I'm taking the under.
Yeah, I'm going to go under with this bunch.
I think you lose to A&M, Georgia. I think Missou gets them. I mean, I don't think they're that good, to be honest with you. I don't. So the under.
Yeah, I don't see them improving that. I really don't either. So
all right, so
I'm with you on
up
that.
Next is the Florida Gators. Their over/under is at 6.5. Jesus, Jackpot! I can't believe this stupid schedule for them. They play Long Island, Jackpot. I didn't know Long Island had a football team.
They do. The LIU Sharks.
Jackpot, you could have told me they were the LIU Flying Vaginas, and I would have believed you.
Or LIU Possible Bearcats.
Possible Bearcats. Either way, I've never heard of Long Island's football team. They've got Long Island, South Florida. They play at Miami. Mississippi State is at home. They play at Kentucky. They also play Tennessee at home. There's a win. And they play Florida State. They're on the road at LSU. They play Texas at home. They play at A&M. They got Georgia at home. Excuse me, that's the Jacksonville game. And then they play at Ole Miss. Over-unders at 6.5. So guaranteed wins on the schedule here of Long Island, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Mississippi State. That's 4.
South Florida
would be 5. So can they beat Florida State,
Florida State,
Texas A&M, Georgia? And
I think Florida State's pretty much I think that's a guarantee.
All right, so that's 6. So there's 6 wins. Yeah. Are they going to get to the 7th plateau?
Rob, dude, I'm going to go out on. We're at 6. Man, the only thing is, man, these road games, aside from this Kentucky game, the rest of these road games are tough. I mean, going to Ole Miss for them and winning, tough. They're going to be out for some revenge from last year, too. I know revenge is overrated. Still, it's a thing. At LSU, early in the season. They ain't winning that. Then they got to turn around and go to Miami. I mean, yeah. I'm gonna go, and then to Texas A&M. I think they're going to be better.
Right.
They ain't beaten. I mean, do you think they could? Do you think they could upset Texas at home? I mean, I don't. You think they could upset Tennessee? Oh, never mind. That's not an upset.
It's until Tennessee beats them there. I'm taking.
Yeah, they'll be favored in that one. I'm going to go under with them. I'm not confident about it, but
I'm going the under 2 at 6 wins. So
those are just tough road games, man. I don't.
Isn't it weird to see some of these early people putting stuff out there, saying things like, "What was that?" Here, I saved this from earlier. Somebody wrote this. Some writer wrote, "It's tempting to pick Florida as a potential threat to the CFP." What in the fuck have you been watching? What are you talking about? You can't just wave a magic wand and say this is a CFP team. Get the hell out of here with that nonsense. So anyway, that's weird, but I'm going with the under there. All right, Jackpot. We move to the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia start. They have Marshall, Austin P, the Governors, Alabama, Kentucky, at Auburn, Ole Miss, Florida, at Mississippi State. They play Texas at home. They managed to work Charlotte into the schedule. Good for them. They also have Georgia Tech, and they play at Tennessee.
And they're at 9.5.
9.5 for the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, we don't know who their quarterback's going to be. But you know what?
Gunnar Stockton is the first string,
right? But I don't think that people feel confident about him being the quarterback. I don't know. I don't think he's.
Yeah, but I mean, who's it going to be?
I don't know. I'm not confident.
I mean, they are heavily juiced to going over 9.5. It's at -178.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Plus 144 for the under.
I gave Kirby Smart shit for a long time because he did things that didn't make sense to me, but he has corrected me upon this. And until he starts to suck asshole, we're going to bet on Kirby Smart here to rally his troops and win over the 9.5 games. So I'm going to take the over.
Yeah, I am too. I'm looking here, man. I mean, to be honest with you, they've got a couple of new receivers. I mean, I think that's going to add a little bit of dynamic to their offense. That Zachariah Branch is going to give them kind of that slot presence. Then they got the other kid whose name escapes. Put it in the comments. The one from Texas A&M. He's really good. And that gives them some decent receivers for a while. Or for the first time in a long time, excuse me, I meant to say. I think those first 2 games are win. I think they'll win at Tennessee. I think all the questions about that were answered. I think they beat Alabama at home. I think they won it against Kentucky. At Auburn looks like a win. Ole Miss at home should be a win. They could go undefeated against this schedule. I don't think they will. I think they'll stub their toe somewhere. I'm seeing like 11-1. I think they go over.
Yep. We'll see how that works out. But until
that Georgia Tech game at the end of the year is going to be that could be a Lulu also. Especially if they go in that game in 10-1 or something, or even undefeated. Man, could you imagine?
Yeah.
That'd be a real coming out party for the nerds if they win that. And damn if they didn't almost do it last year. They came within a cunt hair.
To give you a preview for our Athens stuff, I'm sorry. To give you a preview of our ACC stuff on Wednesday, I think the only game Clemson loses this year is to Georgia Tech.
Yeah. Okay.
Write that down.
Yeah, but they're losing another one besides that. Tiger Red Devil says Georgia could go 12-0. Yeah, they'd have the same record your team's going to have, according to you.
Kentucky over and unders at 4.5. Here are the Kentucky games, Jackpot. Want to take a guess?
Whoever's in the MAC East, and the Snake. Man.
Here we go. They got Toledo, Eastern Michigan, Tennessee Tech. They play Ole Miss. They're at South Carolina, at Georgia. They have Texas, Tennessee, at Auburn, Florida, at Vandy, and at Louisville. 4.5.
Under. I mean, I don't think they've got the playmakers there to do that. Look, I think and scheduling all these MAC teams is going to bite them in the ass at some point. I think they drop that game to Toledo. I really do, because Toledo just went down there last year and smacked Mississippi State right in the mouth and made them like it.
Right.
So, I mean, what makes anybody think they can't? I think they may have fucked around and find out with that one. Ole Miss, I think they dropped that. I think they get their first win against Eastern Michigan. They ain't beating the Gamecocks. They ain't beating Georgia. Dude, they're going 1-5, 1-6. Dude, they're going to start out like 1-6. Tennessee at home, they ain't winning that. I mean, they're one. Is that one? They could be 1-7. I mean, I don't think they will be. I think they'll find a way to win one here somewhere. But I mean, this could be like a 3-win team. So I'm going under with them.
Yeah, I want to try to think about a way they could get around just to help out Big Barney Ross there, but
Big Barney's got 5. What were their 5 wins? I mean, I'm not seeing them.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm bringing up the other ones here. Let's see here.
And it warms the cockles of my heart to be able to poke fun at these nitwits after years of farting up win against them, underperforming against them, just absolutely being embarrassed every time we stepped off the field when the games were over, losing to them like 5 times in a row. It's just absolute. You could make the argument that was the low point of the program. That was the lowest of the low, man. I remember the COVID year when we played them in the last game of the season, and we lost like 41-18 or something on the road, and then they announced like in the fourth quarter that Shane Beamer had accepted the coaching position, and that really pissed me off too, because at the time I didn't want him. I didn't want him at the time. I was like, oh my God,
you won't want him again.
Yeah, that was a real night filled with shots of Crown Royal and lots of time on the toilet.
Mike Bobo was your head coach when that game happened, and they just ramrolled.
A fucktard who couldn't wait to get the fuck out of there. Couldn't wait to get out of there, and a liar too, by the way. Let's not forget that.
He deserts people in the middle of the night. Up next is LSU over and under.
Jerry Wells said, I feel like Jackpot has always undervalued the job Mark Stoops has done in Kentucky. Well, Jerry, obviously you've never watched any of the videos that I've done on their preseason predictions. I give him all the credit in the world, man. I just think he's what am I here to say? I just think it's run its course. Is that fair to say, Rob?
Yeah, sometimes you need a different voice up there.
I think sometimes you need a fresh new start.
A fresh coat of paint. There you go.
A fresh paint of coat. There you go.
That's good too. They've already heard all of his stories. They need somebody else. LSU over under 8.5 for LSU. They play Louisiana Tech.
By the way, did you hear about that news about that wide receiver?
Yeah, Kersey,
well,
I think is his name. Yeah.
He didn't. Well, I mean, I've got my opinion there. I'm not trying to. I mean, everybody's got one. I mean, it sounds to me like he didn't want to face the music.
Yeah.
So he took the easy way out, and that's bullshit. Because that old man's family is not going to get any kind of. They're not going to get any. They're not going to get their day. It's bullshit.
Right. Well, let's go with LSU now. I don't want to get into all that, but LSU's over under is at 8.5. They play Louisiana Tech, Florida, Southeastern Louisiana. They play at Ole Miss. They've got South Carolina at home. They play at Vandy. They got Texas A&M, Arkansas, and Western Kentucky. They also play at Clemson, at Alabama, and at Oklahoma.
Who are we talking about? The Tigers?
LSU, yes.
Duh, that was stupid of me. I knew that. Why did I say that?
So my thing with them is that Brian Kelly can coach. I mean, we've seen that. But they always play shitty the first game of the season, rally, have a great season, but end up being like just right there on the cusp of being a CFP contender, but not quite there yet. I mean, he just screams 8 wins.
Well, they always lose the game they shouldn't.
Right. So 8 or 9 wins is what he's always screaming about. And since they're over-unders at 8.5, I'm going to go with under, but have them at 8. But if they win at Clemson, they're going to win 9 games. So I got them at – I'm going to take the under, though.
They're at 8.5, you say? Sir. Let's see. I see 8. I see. I'm going under. I'm going under because I see 8 games here that I feel good about, but I don't. They're not. I don't. I'd like to say they're going to beat Clemson, but they've not been playing real well in opening games. I think Clemson's. I think LSU is not the team that Clemson faced in their opener last year. I think Dabo. I think Dabo is going to have this bunch up for this game. I really do, because they've dropped their last 2 openers.
Right.
Right. At least, and I don't think they didn't drop it the year before. I don't think, but they did drop the last 2. Right. So I'm going to put that as a loss, and I think they're that Ole Miss game. I don't know. I don't know what Ole Miss is going to have. So I would say that's going to be a loss. I think my Gamecocks pull one on you. I think we pull the rug out from under you there in Tiger Stadium, get our first win there in a long time. Vandy, I think they beat Vandy. I think Texas A&M there's another one. It's a losable game.
Right.
I'm going to go under with that. I'm not confident with them.
All right, get your cowbells ready. Up next is Mississippi State. Now remember, this is a Mississippi State that got blown out at home last year by Toledo. They also did not win a conference game. They have 27 players coming in from the transfer portal, 51 new players on the roster. So it's safe to say we don't know what the fuck they've got going on here. Here's the schedule, though. They play at Southern Miss. They've got Arizona State, Alcorn State, Northern Illinois. They play Tennessee, at Texas A&M. They play at Florida, Texas. Hello, Bubba. At Arkansas, Georgia, at Missou,
at the Kansas show,
and Ole Miss. There you go, buddy. So with that, over-unders at 3.5. I'm going to take over. I think they'll go over, jackpot.
I
got 3 weeks for sure.
Is there a chance they could start off 4-0?
I don't know.
You think they could beat Arizona State?
I think Arizona State's going to have that quarterback back, and they're not going to be the pushover that people think they're going to be. I think they dropped that game, but I think they beat Southern Miss. I think they beat Alcorn State and Northern Illinois. And then I think they get some.
Do they though? Is NIU the one that Notre Dame lost?
Yeah, but
to?
they had that entire team shifted out. All of them are gone. So it's a completely different team.
Okay.
So I think they get an SEC win this
So this is NIU light, in other words.
I think they get an SEC win this year somewhere. I don't know where it's going to be, but they'll get one.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I because it just, I mean, the law of averages just tells me you've got to. And I mean, they didn't play. I mean, they covered the number in a lot of their games last year.
They were close in a lot of games, but the point is that it's going to take Libby time. But 51 new guys. Baylor transfer Blake Shapen is expected to be their quarterback. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm just going.
He had it for a while last year, and he got hurt.
Right.
I think.
I'm gonna give him some time here, but I think they win 4 games, so I'm gonna take the over.
Okay, I'm gonna go over 2. You think they could possibly win at Tennessee? No, that's at home. That's a home game. You think they could win?
I think they're gonna beat Arkansas. That's
Okay.
That's the game that I got them at. We'll see though.
You don't think they could beat Tennessee?
See, Tennessee's got question marks now. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Maybe that I didn't think that Arkansas would beat Tennessee last year, and they did. So,
I mean, I'm not laughing. I'm not, and the Voltards will sit here and think I'm just dancing on their grave or something. I'm not. I'm just like, could they lose this game?
Yeah.
I mean, this could be, and we'll get to them soon. But I mean, this could be a good thing for them. It could be better.
It could be.
Their win total dropped.
With
this news, but I don't know.
I think Mississippi State wins an SEC game. I think it happens. All right, so our next team is.
Well, you made with a pretty good, intelligent comment in the comment section here. It says Arnold sucks ass. They aren't doing anything. So talking about Auburn. Yeah, I mean, what was the problem last year at Oklahoma? Well, we didn't have any receivers. Well, I mean, you had receivers. I mean, his mobility was terrible. This guy he was awful in the pocket. I mean, he was just shit all the way around. It wasn't on his receiver.
He made bad decisions too. So, anyway, here we go. Next team is Missou. Here's Mizzou's schedule.
I'm not telling you what to do. We need to speed this up here. We're way in.
All right, we're going Mizzou over under.
You got some people wanting to get in the show.
Over under 7.5 for Mizzou. We got Central.
Tell you what, Rob, why don't we do Mizzou and then let's pick it up on Wednesday night with the rest of the league.
Well, Mizzou is the last one then. Central Arkansas, Kansas, Louisiana, South Carolina, UMass, at Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. They've also got Alabama, A&M, at Oklahoma, and at Arkansas. I stand with the dork. I'll take the over.
What are they sitting at?
7.5.
Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3. I mean, if they could win all their – I mean, a lot of this depends on can they beat the Gamecocks at home? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's going to be tough for them. That's sandwiched around. Good Lord, the start of the season, except for the Gamecocks, is such shit. But then again, I look at that. I mean, do you think they could lose to Kansas? I mean, seriously.
I don't know. I think that's a game they really want, so I think that one's a win, to be honest with you. So we'll see.
They've got a lot of talent. I mean, that he's recruited. He's recruited well. He's used the portal well. I'll go over. I mean, I think they might win 8. I don't think they're going to win much more than that, though. It just depends. A lot of this just depends on how good or bad some of these teams are. If Mississippi State's more legit than what we thought, that they could possibly spring an upset. I mean, how good is Vandy going to be? I mean, that has a lot to do with that. I'm going to go over, though, just for the purposes of this video.
I'm gonna take the over in the 8. All right, let's bring people in. If you want to talk about, Nico leaving. Here you go.
Matthew says that he thinks Kansas can definitely beat Missou. I do. I think they can too. I mean, I think we saw the true Kansas last year when they played Colorado, and they kind of steamrolled them a little bit. But they didn't have a great year.
All right, there you go. There is your link.
There's half of it. We'll pick up with Ole Miss on Sunday, on Monday.
Yep,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's the next team that we'll have. So Oklahoma next on Wednesday. Do Oklahoma on Wednesday. Wayne says, I'm not sure how close you actually follow the Vols, but I kind of think the team is glad he's gone. Being kind of like Georgia being glad that Beck left. Yeah, we'll see on that. Look, I think that here. Let me.
I didn't know that Georgia was glad he left.
Well, I don't know, but look, I'm in the camp of this. I think that Josh Heupel can take quarterbacks that have not been, this 5-star talent and turn them into good quarterbacks. Look at Hendon Hooker. Look at the guys he had at Central Florida. He's been able to develop guys like that. That can play within the system because they run a system there. And I think he can do that and possibly get a better passing game than 8th in the conference. Because that's what
isn't the guy that that's probably going to wind up playing quarterback. Hasn't he been with Josh Heupel since he was at UCF?
I don't know. I'd have to look at that.
Yeah, he's like a super duper senior or something that's Merkling. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was somebody else that I was thinking about.
I would take whoever Heupel picks up off the woodpile from wherever over Nico at quarterback, simply because he lost me last year with the Arkansas game, with the way he acted in that Arkansas game. They had no business losing that game to Arkansas. And he played a shitty game, and at the end of the game, he just looked like he just didn't want to fucking be there. And with that, I'd rather have somebody that, I never doubted Hooker or even Joe Milton. I mean, he'd lay it out to be, Mr. Vol, and a lot of these other guys haven't. So.
Wayne says Gaston Moore is that was. Oh, look. Oh, holy shit. Oh, it's a Bluegrass Sports Media sighting.
Fuck is he doing there?
Holy shit, dude. This is like a unicorn.
Yeah.
Shh. Be quiet. It'll run away.
I don't know what happened to him, but he's here. Cool. All right, there you go. There's a link if you want to join the show. Have at it. Real quick, while we wait on the folks to join here, Jackpot, Gamecock baseball team. We have to talk about this for a second. They went into the night. They were up 12 to, I think, 2 at one point with Texas A&M. They get into the 9th inning. They're up 12-7. Texas A&M gets 2 grand slams to get the walk-off win, Jackpot. Your thoughts on that?
How does that even happen? How is your bullpen bad enough to allow that to happen? B, how is your management of your bullpen and your roster so fucking terrible that we could allow that to happen? Now, I mean, I know Texas A&M, they said, been hitting the ball well, been seeing it well the past week or so. I ain't doubting that, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, you're up 5 or 2 grand slams. That's got to be in a record book somewhere. That's unheard of.
I wish that I knew, but I just don't. I got nothing for you, man. I stunned. That's all there is.
There's no way that they let him coach again next year. There's no way. No shot. I mean, this new athletic director's got to draw a line in the sand right now. Yeah, right now. I mean, prove to us that you're going to be a difference maker and things are going to be different.
Let's welcome Tom to the program. Tom, how's Ohio State looking? Tom, welcome to the program. Hi, Tom. Hello to Tom. All right, I don't know what's going on with Tom. We'll let him sit there.
I think that happened the last time Tom tried to call in several months
what's
ago.
What's going on with Tom? But I asked him if he wanted to be up here. Have at it. Tom's welcome to join the program. But JT Thompson says we need a Braves roast season soon. Look, roast stream soon. Look, Braves are 4-11, but they got some stuff that's gonna be in the mix here. They got Spencer Strider supposed to come back. His last rehab start, he struck out 13 batters in 6 innings, something like that. Ronald Acuna Jr. is supposedly coming back and is good to go. Maybe that I don't know if they're going to turn it around and make the playoffs, but 4-11 is not the end of the world. So
no, not when it's a 162 game
62
season.
games. Like they could go.
Yeah, you got 162 game season. You played 14, right. So
they could go on a winning streak here, win 4 or 5 here.
Atlanta usually goes on some kind of tear in like August. Normally, they'll win.
I bet they finish over 500.
I would take that bet too.
Yeah. So there's that. Amazing stuff, Rob Matthews, with that. That's funny. Let's see. Let's try Tom again. Hi, Tom.
I think it's working better now.
Hi, Tom.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Well, that's good.
Sir.
What was that?
How's Ohio State looking this year? He just dropped off. I didn't do it. I don't know what happened to him. I think he hit the button. I don't know. Anyway, there's Tom joining the program. Thanks, Tom. Volcor says South Carolina baseball has put themselves in the joke category with Missou. Like you can't get much worse. Yeah, but Missou wasn't what South Carolina was, so there's a difference there.
No, and then, you can argue, South Carolina did have an epic collapse, but, was Missou beating teams like, I don't know. South Carolina's had chances to win a lot of these games. Their record should be a ton better than what it is. They don't complete games. How is Missou looking in their losses? Are they just getting blown out all the time?
I don't know. I just think that I'm looking back to with like if you're comparing just this season, Mizzou's been getting hammered a good bit this year, but I'm trying to see like
Missou is 0-15 in conference play. Jesus.
Right, they are 0-15. I'm trying to see when their last they went 23-32 last year, 9-21 in conference play. They have not had a winning. Hold on, I'm looking at this here. Missou has never had a winning season in SEC play. So since they joined the SEC in 2013, they have not had a season where they were above 500 in conference play.
Holy damn. Are you serious?
Their best record was in 2015 when they went 15-15. Every year other than that, they have finished under 500.
That's kind of hard to believe.
Well, but on the other hand,
and you've had some teams like Georgia is Georgia ranked pretty high in baseball
right now? I don't have to look. I think they're still ranked high. Yeah.
Yeah, like just a few years ago, they were dog shit in baseball. Even Tennessee was dog shit in baseball just like 4 or 5 years ago. They were terrible. And it goes in cycles. You'd think that at some point Missou would have. So I don't think that doesn't seem like they really care about the sport.
They don't. Tom, welcome back.
Okay, I think I got it fixed.
Okay.
All right, what do you have for the show, Tom?
just, I mean, big news yesterday. Obviously, Nico demanding more money. I don't know why anybody would pick him up because he was getting paid $2 million. He wanted $4. Let's say he goes somewhere else at the end of this season, he demands $6. Win.
Don't give it to him.
Give him the 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, I think it was a good move by Tennessee, not to give him to his demands. I think Megan was saying something.
No, you can't let people push you around, even if he was good. I mean, yeah, he didn't have good stats really, but even if they were a little bit better, you still can't let people tell you what they're going to make.
Tom, I'm glad you listened to the show, the first half of it, and got our opinion, and then just retold it to us right here. You are the man, Tom.
Well, I guess there's no other common sense opinion. I mean, who in their right mind would support Nico at this point?
Oh, I'm sure some dinglings out there are. Some of these Gen Zers probably.
Sure.
Go ahead.
No, I didn't know if you had something else you wanted to talk about, sir.
Yeah. Did Clemson or South Carolina actually have spring games, or did they just have like a open practice format?
Clemson had a spring game. They just wrapped theirs up last weekend. South Carolina spring game, I think, is this coming weekend, Jackpot.
Friday night.
It will not be televised. So it'll be, I think they're doing it on radio network, but it will not be televised. So
I don't think there's a spring game that was televised this year. Was there?
Ohio State was on yesterday.
Were they?
Yeah, I see.
And who else was? Georgia Tech was on yesterday. Oklahoma. They were streaming. Right. They were on.
But was it an actual game, or was it just like an open practice?
It looked like a game to me. Some of them did. I mean, they all don't look like real games across the board. It's just when the coach is standing like 5 feet behind the quarterback doing commentary to ESPN, it's not really a game.
No, nobody's going to really show. Right. You really can't tell nothing by a spring game. I know we're going to win the national title. Like, really? Because of a spring game results? I know a lot of Florida fans are pissed that the basketball team didn't get their championship parade. They just had a little ceremony at halftime of the spring game, and the Florida fans booed their athletic director.
I mean, I don't know what
yesterday because they
don't know what they would. I mean, what do they want? They want a parade down the streets of Gainesville. What do they? I'm not being a smart ass here, but fuck do they want?
Yeah, I guess they want a parade down the streets of Gainesville, and I think they want to be able to climb up a traffic light pole without falling. I think that's two of the things they would want.
Yeah, that was a clown move. What a fucking dumbass.
You want to explain that, Jackpot?
Yeah, there was a big mob out there in Gainesville after they won that title. A bunch of kids out there celebrating after they won. And one of them climbs up a light pole, the kind that juts out over the street with the metal pole that comes up and then it goes out. And he walked on it. And to his credit, he did tightrope it for about 10 seconds until that damn traffic light pole said, not so fast, my boy, and threw him off of him like a damn bucking bronco. And he hit the damn ground.
Yeah, they said
what's that?
Is there
Yes.
I gotta find the video on this. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it's all over.
Jackpot, I'm gonna play hold on, I'm going to share the screen over this. Hold on. So this is a Florida idiot falling off of a flagpole. Hold on, Jackpot. Let's see what we got here. There we go. All right. So here's this kid. Looks like now he's standing up.
He was surfing. Fucking moron. Now, how far of a drop is that? That's at least that's got to be what, 20 feet?
Yeah, hold on. Let's.
Yep.
Here we go. Bam.
Well, it kind of looked like he came off of it. Maybe he was able to hold on and then drop down with his feet, so maybe he didn't get hurt too bad. I hope.
I'm not wishing for anybody to get hurt, but that was pretty damn funny.
Well, I mean, he shouldn't have been. He was asking for that.
He was asking for it. All right, I didn't dropped off, but
Valcourt says up in the comments, you don't have to believe me, but here is some inside information. Nico's dad had been a problem the whole time. Doesn't surprise me. And he's fueling the fire. He shopped Nico to UCLA weeks ago. Nico moved out and ran. I mean, I can believe that. Here's my thing. You can tell that this kid is nothing but a me type individual because UCLA is dog shit. I mean, why would you I hate Tennessee, but I mean, at least Tennessee made it to the playoffs. I mean, at least you have a legitimate chance. I mean, he could legitimately have a chance to compete for a conference championship at Tennessee. I mean, it could happen, if the cards fell into the right slots. You're not competing for a conference championship at UCLA. It's likely you wouldn't even have a winning record. I mean, no matter what you did, all you're going to do is pad some stats. So he's obviously just all about a bag, and it's just ridiculous, man. It really is.
Well, there you go. All right, final call for calls to see if people want to get in. Let's see here. Here's the link, and there you go. I don't know. I'm in the camp of they'll be better without him. We'll preview that on Wednesday when we have our look at the schedule, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. You have anything else you want to put out there this evening, Jackpot? Oh, I have one little thing, but it's not. It's just kind of a parting thing. Lots of Clemson fans have been running their mouth about the baseball team. Just a quick reminder. College baseball season doesn't start until June. All right? Now, all this shit right now in April and May and all that, none of that matters. It matters what you do in June.
Yeah, they lost today, right?
I don't think they've lost today. I think I have to look.
Nah,
what's going on, you guys?
I think they did.
There is Octavian. Welcome to the program.
The champ.
No, they series with yeah,
The championship.
State looks like.
The champ is here. The champ is here. Congratulations to the Gators, sir. From the bottom
Oh
of the
yeah, I love it. We're gonna win it in football and fuck Tennessee, fuck Nico, and I'm gonna get off the champ is here.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. Have a good night, Octavian. Yeah, Clemson did lose today 11-6 to the Tree.
Is the Tree a decent team, or were they dog shit?
What's the Tree's record? I don't really. Let's see what the Tree's record is. Stanford salvages series with beating Clemson. The Cardinals, well, they're 19-14, 6-12 in conference play. So they're
well, they're not awful though. I mean, they're bad, but
they're not give 2 home runs up at 2 grand slams in the ninth.
No,
inning.
they're not. No, I mean, quite honestly, there's no one that's that bad. I don't think. I think the Gamecocks are. That's historically they're trend-setting bad at this point. Is that a word? I mean, is that a description? Is that accurate? Trend-setting bad.
I got to give the A&M fans credit. They were Jones was out there pitching for the Gamecocks, and he had a set where, like, after he threw 4 straight balls, and then the crowd starts chanting at him, every pitch, ball 4, ball 5, ball 6, and it got up to like ball 10. You got the whole stadium, everybody chanting the same thing and waving at him, you know? And
Well, they were doing some kind of cheer. Their fans were like a little group of them I saw, and that panned over to them in like game 2. It was like a cheer maybe / yoga exercise, and it was kind of like, I mean, we were like rowing a boat or something. I don't.
what the fuck is going on
Their
here?
cheerleaders are weird. I mean, what if they busted into the
Well, the ball chant though, you could tell that was getting to Jones because he threw 10 straight balls and it was right up to the second grand slam. So he throws 10 straight balls, finally throws a strike, and then the crowd goes nuts. And then the next pitch, the guy teed off on and hit it out. So it was like, what the hell? I mean, they were obviously in that young man's head. So it wasn't a vulgar chant.
It was rent free, Rob. It was rent free.
Right, but it wasn't a vulgar chant. The whole crowd was in it, and they let the pitcher know how many balls he had thrown in a row. And it completely shattered that young man as far as on the mental basis. But so there you go with that. Oh, well,
as SEC bias says, Texas A&M is basically a college of homeschoolers.
Jesus. That is funny.
There's like, I hear of that a lot nowadays, getting homeschooled. I mean, come on. I mean,
I think that some parents want to homeschool their kids, I can tell you from like during COVID-19 when having to help my kids with stuff, it's like, man, we need to let the pros do this shit.
Oh yeah, when they were e-learning and all that.
They were e-learning and all that at home, and they're, you're trying to help them or whatever, but you can't because you're not very smart yourself. And then you realize, wow, maybe we should let the teachers do it because that's what they were trained to do. We're just dumbasses.
I remember my stepdaughter was here like most of her sophomore year and her entire junior year of high school. She was here in her room. That's where her classes were. And then finally she turned a senior. So I got dressed one morning, the first day of school. Where are you going? I'm going to school. I'm like, what's that? Oh, okay. Back up again.
What up, Squid?
What's going on, gentlemen? I just saw the title of the stream and knew I had to hop in here.
What's good, my friend?
Hey, I think the program's going to be better off without him, sir.
See, I'm glad you agree. I never thought he was that good anyway. No,
well, I have a bet with Billy Cole for a 6-pack of beer if they finish in the top 3 in the conference in passing. I might lose that bet now, simply because this asshole decided to leave. So I don't like Nico either. To hell with him. Now I got to send Billy beer.
You don't actually think we'll be top 3 passing, do you?
I think I like your chances of being top 3 better now than what they were Friday night when he was still on the team.
Certainly, but I
don't really think they'd be top 3 passing, Rob, because I mean they run the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Well, but
the running back we got from Duke turns out to be really good. I don't think he's a Dylan Sampson, but I think the passing game is going to improve, so it'll balance out.
With Billy Cole, and I think it's Big Orange, one of those other ones that I have the 6-pack of beer bet, which either Jackpot and I'll be drinking beer or we'll send beer to them, one or the other.
Again, it's a spring game, so you have to kind of take this for what it's worth. But I thought George McIntyre looked pretty good out there. Now, granted, again, it's a scrimmage, so you can only tell so much based off of that. But yeah.
Did you go to the event?
Yeah, I was at the spring game.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far do you live from Knoxville?
I only live like 20 minutes away from campus. I go to the University of Tennessee. So whoever this JT Thompson looking dummy is, he's obviously wrong.
He says you were homeschooled.
Yeah, he's trying real hard, but no, that is not true.
Look, let me ask you this though.
Real quick before that, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I got to tell you. So when I was at the spring game, I actually came across Jackpot's favorite best friend, Boogie Bentley.
Oh God,
he was there, and immediately, because I was vlogging most of the entire thing, immediately he called you out. Said, "Jackpot, anytime, any place, buddy. We're right here tailgating. If you want to come and say something, now's the time." So he was calling you out. I just wanted to know. No, he was. I've got it on film.
This dude's calling out Jackpot.
I might have to come take him up on that.
Shit.
I've got video footage of him and everything. He immediately was like, "This is Jackpot. If you're well, first he called you crackpot. I'm pretty sure." Like, yeah. So
that's funny.
Like, "Hey, crackpot, you want some of this? Come on down and get it." Something he says something like that. I've got the whole thing on video. So
somebody said he was a pretty big young man. Like he was big, like not fat. I'm saying like
I get what you're saying. He's like my size, so that's sort of a lie.
So
in fact, that's a big lie.
Oh Lord! Somebody made him sound like he was like 6'4", 250, and would pound you into oblivion.
Well, Jackpot's standing at a flat 6'8", 265. They don't need to mess with you, Jackpot. We're not gonna have that nonsense here. But here's my thing, though. Why are Tennessee fans upset with Jackpot? Y'all aren't even on the fucking schedule.
Because I gave him shit. Matt Shaw says, "How's the man cave going, Carolina?" Well, we've got the walls up on it right now in there, and the floor. Other than that, it's still a work in progress.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, anyway, I'm in the camp that you guys are going to be better. So I know people thought we were just going to be Tennessee hating tonight, but I think that you may not win as many games, but as far as an offense, I think you'll be better. Your offense will be better than it was last year, in my opinion, especially on the passing front.
Well, I'm glad you're not one of these idiots that have been preaching about how Nico was terrible and he's no good. He sucks. He's the worst quarterback. Tennessee's going to suck with them next season. And then as soon as he hits the transfer portal, these dumbass Tennessee fans lost their star quarterback. And suddenly Nico's the best thing to come out of Tennessee.
No, sir. Jackpot and I have been consistent upon this. We thought that Nico sucked for a long time. And now that he's leaving, you obviously are going to be better by subtraction.
Yeah,
that's how I feel. So,
and I do think he's definitely got some major room for improvement. He, if somebody actually utilizes the talent that he's got, maybe he can do something in the future. But it's just, I don't think anything like that's coming anytime soon.
Well, I think he got bad advice. There's that too, but I think that you'll be better on that front without him. So.
Well, more stuff's been coming out about this. Apparently, he was trying to opt out of the playoff game because he wanted more money.
I got on our Facebook page. Yeah, he didn't want to play in the playoff game. I read that too. But on our Facebook page, some dummy said that I had no knowledge of football and that I wore the same wife beater every night. And I brought nothing to the podcast with all that. And I'm like, wait a minute. This is, of course, all before all this shit that has come out about him and how much of an asshole allegedly he was to Tennessee. But, I'm consistent with what I've brought here. I didn't think he was good at Tennessee. I think people blew him up too much. And now that he's gone, Tennessee's going to be better.
Oh, I saw that. And I also saw you wore that polo shirt there tonight. If you were me and I were you, and he had said that to me about the damn wife beater, I'd have gave him exactly what he wanted. I would have put the damn wife beater on tonight. I would have put some mud on it. I would have got some jelly and and smeared that on here, maybe a little mustard and ketchup by the collar for
Well,
good measure too.
I played golf with the wife today, and I just didn't change my shirt. But the reality is that maybe one day he might be intimidated by the fact that I actually have some shoulders and he doesn't. Maybe that's part of his problem. I don't know. For some reason, it's weird to me that people like get upset because, especially during the summer, I do shows in my damn undershirt. The fuck is wrong with you people?
Or as BVD would call it, muscle shirts.
Yeah. Man, I miss BVD. He was cool.
I bet he was up there in heaven cursing that son of a bitch.
I would have given anything to see his reaction to what's been happening this past.
He had a very distinctive voice. It was kind of soft, yet it was gravelly from all the cigarettes. It's kind of like he probably like, hey Nico, fuck you, you son of a bitch.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I think that his reaction video, if he would have had it tonight, would have been one of the hottest things on YouTube. I really, really believe that. He would have motherfucked him from one end to the other and basically said what we said here. Tennessee will be better without him.
Probably would have pissed on a Nico shirt too.
Did you buy one of those Nico lathes? You got some volunteer stuff in yours.
I do have a lot of Tennessee stuff, but I can safely say that I do not have any Nico stuff.
Well, if you bought one of the, I'm waiting. I want a Tennessee fan to come on our program and set one of those lathes on fire. Because I had some people message even on the Facebook thing I posted about, burn all those. Well, hell, let's go.
Here's a question, Rob. Do you think Nico's a bigger dickhead than Juice Wells?
It's close, but here's the thing though. Nico will not have the opportunity to drag nuts on Tennessee like Wells did South Carolina because he can't transfer.
Wells didn't.
His brother might though. His brother plays for Arkansas. No, he's a backup.
That's not gonna happen. But it would be kind of funny if they ended up matching up with each other in a bowl game. But I don't see a way that happens. I don't know where he's gonna go. So
it's just so weird to me how a bunch of people, including in this live chat, have been saying that Nico is terrible and he won't get any better for almost a year on end now. And now suddenly, now that he's left Tennessee, apparently we're going to be worse without him. Like, it's proof that dead internet theory is not a theory, but a revelation.
Look, I
don't think he's terrible. I mean, he has talent. Obviously, It needs to be developed. I don't think that his talent and developing his game was first and foremost in his mind. I think that was a lot of what his problem was, possibly.
But I think that Heupel has the capability. He's already shown this. He can take quarterbacks that nobody wanted. Justin Fuente was considered a quarterback whisperer. And he basically told Hendon Hooker, you're not good enough to take snaps at Virginia Tech. Get the fuck out of here is basically what happened there. And he turned Hendon Hooker into a really good player.
Yeah.
And, he has the capability of spinning some quarterback stuff like that and making the system work for him. Yeah. So I believe that he can do that. I really do.
I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with our we've got the number one quarterback of the 26th class, that Faison Brandon kid. And just like we did Nico, we paid him a shitload of money to come here. So would you pay these massive bags to these players? More often than not, pretty much 99% of the time, their loyalty is to the bag, not to the program. So it's not going to surprise me if Faison ends up doing the same thing Nico does. Unless if the NCAA implements something from here.
But listen, if I'm Heupel, why not go and just hit the transfer portal and do what you did with these other quarterbacks? He got Hooker there. He did. I mean, Milton wasn't the best thing ever, but I mean, he still was okay.
The only thing with that, Rob, is he's going to have to learn a whole playbook And I looked at the portal.
Their system. No,
Well, no, I was going to say I looked at the portal, and I think there were only like 3 or 4 unclaimed quarterbacks. Granted, there's probably going to be some more going on.
My point is that he can find somebody and shine them up, in my opinion, but they don't run like even Hooker said this. He said the difference between the offensive system at Virginia Tech and Tennessee was that Heupel simplified it enough where it was basically 12 plays. This is what Hooker said. And he can make decisions at the line and put the defense in a position where they're at a disadvantage, and they just move the ball up and down the field.
The main thing
that train those guys to go that way. Why go get these 5-star quarterbacks and pay them all this money?
The main thing that angers me about Heupel's style of offense, and this is really my only gripe, is that he puts a limiter on the quarterback. He doesn't let him run out of the pocket unless they absolutely have to. There's no design quarterback runs. It's issues like that sort of
There's two things, though. One, nobody's ever really won at a championship level with that offense. Okay? I can't think of any team that's won at a super high level with that offense. But the other thing, though, is that it does work. He is able to move the ball up and down the field. So I think that it puts your defense at a disadvantage because they're on the field so much, because if it's running effectively, you're scoring every 5th play. So with that, your defense gets worn out. But on the other hand,
it's going back to 22, I think that was also the factor of the fact that a lot of those guys on the defense were not very good. They were guys that stayed after the whole Jeremy Pruitt fiasco. So most of those guys, we had a complete transfer overhaul in the defense going into the 23 season. So that's why it was like basically night and day from those 2 years.
Right. Well, I think you should put your trust in your coach and see where he can go from here.
But so the only 2 options right now are you got the one kid who I guess played a couple snaps last year, and then a true freshman entirely. Is that the only people in the room right now for Tennessee?
There's only 2 scholarship quarterbacks, right, Squid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, that's how it stands.
And nobody's transferred in. They're all like people who signed to Tennessee but haven't played. There's nobody that's came in from another school that was a starter.
Mm-mm.
Right.
Well, I'm hearing rumors that Avery Johnson's the guy they're trying to grab, and again,
Avery
it's all
Johnson.
rumors.
What was he at? What was it?
He's
TCU?
at Kansas State.
Kansas State.
Yeah. Heupel loves the dual threat, which is weird because he doesn't let these quarterbacks run.
Well, why is he? If you don't mind me asking, because I've heard a lot about. Granted, this is just from Tennessee fans, and they're probably obviously going to say this, but that kind of seems like a little bit of the hype has, not all of it, but I'd say maybe 20-30% of the Nico hype has now shifted to Merklinger. I don't know if you've noticed that at all, but I've certainly seen it on social media. The hype train for Merklinger has already begun. So do you think they're actually going to go for a starter transfer, or is it just pretty much confirmed he's going to be the starter next year?
I have no idea, if I'm being honest. I can't predict what this coaching staff is going to do. I don't even think Merklinger is going to start, even if we just stick with the 2 quarterbacks we got. I think George McIntyre is going to start ahead of him.
That's the true freshman, isn't it?
Yeah, he looked way better in the spring scrimmage. Again, it's a scrimmage. Yeah. So, but if that were a trend that continues throughout spring practices going into the preseason, then I could definitely see them starting the true freshman over Merklinger.
Okay, and like I said, and I'll touch on a point you made earlier. You were kind of talking about how people were saying Nico's terrible; he's not going to get better. More so what I'm talking about when I bring up and still laugh at the Tennessee man for him leaving is, and maybe you'll even slightly agree with this, Tennessee has pioneered NIL from the beginning. They probably half the lawsuits involving NIL probably involve Tennessee. And now that, it's affected your star quarterback, everybody's just jumping on, railing on him, railing on player empowerment. But when Nico's coming in as a freshman, all I could hear is, "Oh, I'm gonna go get my lay. I'm gonna go get my," you know what I'm saying? I mean, revenue share is a great thing. I'm so glad we're doing revenue share with these players. You know,
Look,
but
that's not all Tennessee fans, to be fair, but I think a lot of them are really upset now because there was a lot of this is the next big thing, and they all rode that train, and he ended up just kicking them in the face on the way out. Fuck you.
Well, you know what's going to be really sad if literally all of the good words and kind words they said to him were true, and he just goes to another school and wins the Heisman year one. I mean, how objectively speaking, I would feel as a Carolina fan if Sellers did that. I don't know how I would ever attach myself.
Y'all lost your shit with Wells.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine a quarterback, and Wells didn't even have a good year.
Yeah, but
so if everything y'all said about Nico was true, I fear for y'all saying.
Imagine the hate that you have for Wells. I think that's how Tennessee fans feel about Nico.
It's got to be, yeah.
The SEC
it's not
is
true.
doing a hell of a thing with saying, "Look, you can't transfer within conference after spring." They did that young man a favor because I'm sure his dad would tell him, "Man, you can go to Auburn and play or insert whatever school here."
He's got a Kiffin mindset.
Oh my!
Well, it's real hard for most of our fans to admit when one of the players on the team isn't good. So the best next thing to do is to just talk about how great they are and all of their great stuff, and that's pretty much what they were doing to Nico. So 50% of their takes you just have to take with a grain of salt because they're just doing whatever they can to try and hype him up. And more often than not, he's let us down in most situations.
Really, now that he's gone, I don't think he's going to do it personally. But I mean, that would be a hell of a story though if he goes in and everything y'all said was true, and y'all just didn't pay him to stay. And you know what I'm saying? I don't know how I would rationalize that. Granted, I don't mind the decision letting him walk, but where I'm coming from is kind of like what I said is the whole thing was created by Tennessee, seemingly. I mean, I guess maybe you could say Missouri with their high school law, but outside of them, I mean, litigation-wise, Tennessee's in the forefront.
Well, Billy says you lost it with Juice Wells and still crying about it. Who's crying about what?
Yeah, speaking of
we
crying,
had the same exact record he had last year.
Yeah.
Speaking of crying,
Brandon, their team beat us. He didn't do anything to contribute to it. Shut up.
Oh goodness.
Speaking of crying, do we want to go ahead and talk about this Chris guy? His vagina has been bleeding for the past 15 minutes. I think somebody should go ahead and answer him.
What did Chris say?
What happened?
What did Chris say? Somebody in the chat room upset you?
He said about 100 different things. First, he said Tennessee is going to win 6 games. Then he said our quarterback room sucks. And then it doesn't suck, and it sucks more that Nico's gone. And now it doesn't suck again. But now it sucks again. And now Tennessee might win 7 games.
Here's a real question, Squidtard. How many games back do you think that? Because I think you were at 10.5. I want to say I just looked it up, and the Vegas line's down to 8.5.
It was 9.5. It was 9.5. Yeah.
Okay. In your opinion, though, do you think that's only a 1-game difference, or do you think that's going to cause a bigger change?
Let's look at their schedule really quick. They got Syracuse, East Tennessee State, Georgia, UAB, Mississippi State, Arkansas, and at Kentucky. They also have Oklahoma, New Mexico State, and Vanderbilt. They play at Alabama and at Florida. Well, the Florida is a loss. We already know that.
Alabama got a lot harder. I think Alabama, y'all were probably favored in. That might be a game where you're underdogs now. Georgia, I was already chalked up as a loss. So maybe, I could win. Yeah,
I actually took the under when it was at 9.5. I thought we were going even with Nico, I thought we were doing 8-4 because of the play calling. So now it's sort of the same thing.
Okay, so I guess I'm not. Yeah, well, and the thing is, in my opinion, Nico skill-wise doesn't set you back a game, but just the void of losing your starting quarterback in April sits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
this is a bad spot to be in. He left them high and dry. That was
left us in the most pivotal moment of the offseason, before the spring game.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of a crazy fucking thing to just sit and think about. Now your starting quarterback can leave right before your spring game. Nothing you can do about it. But that's, I mean, like I said,
Billy says Chris Knipe, loser. He goes by the pronouns she and her.
Chris is good people. Oh, come on now. Chris is good people.
Why the hell?
Oh, yeah, and let me speak on this. The fact that Boogie Bentley is talking shit about Kale and he's not even there shows how low of a man he is. First off, like the dude has
I haven't even thought about him in a long time.
That's what I'm saying. The dude has thousands of things to worry about. He's got a 2,000 cult members tuning in every day for his streams, and he's worried about jackpot. Dude,
it's just hilarious. I
that?
haven't thought about him. The Tennessee YouTuber I've been beefing with is Sports Talk Jabroni.
Yeah, what even prompted that? Did you just say like I know Kale?
Is that the guy who was talking about show us your W-2s, or was that guy?
Yes.
Show us your W-2s.
But Squid Card, what?
He was yelling that in a stream, like, I'll show you the W-2s, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Fuck out of here.
Well,
first of all, he was telling us he'd show us this W-2 from how much money he was making off YouTube. First off, you don't get a W-2 from YouTube as the main thing. You get a damn 1099.
Yeah. He's a fucking idiot on top of all of us. That dude's never worked a day in his life. I know you. I don't even do YouTube, and I know you'd get a 1099. You're working for a fucking company.
Well, it was funny because before
you're independent, you're not getting taxes taken out, so you're a 1099.
I remember that was the guy that Jackpot said went into there, like gave them a super chat money or whatever, and they kicked him out, and Jackpot didn't do anything to them. Yeah, that
was
guy's
2022. But Squid, what prompted the Jackpot hate?
Fuck if I know. I walked up to him and I was like, "Yeah, what's up, talking Vols?" And immediately he turned to me. He's like, "Are you one of Jackpot's henchmen?" And I'm like, "No, I'm Squid Card Sports. You know me.
You're Jackpot's henchman. You're the sergeant at arms.
He's a fucking evil villain in his mind now.
I have henchmen? What is going on here?
What the hell is this? That's some delusional ass shit. I honestly can't fathom unwarranted to a guy that I'm probably meeting for the first or second time talking about, are you talking Vols henchmen? Is this the safe echo chamber? Can I talk to you, or are you going to give me some pushback? I mean, that's fucking so soft, dude. I can't believe people actually spend money on that schmuck. It's like, I guess that kind of goes into what you were saying, though, as far as some Tennessee fans kind of being sunshine pumpers. I guess that's kind of where they congregate, right?
Yeah.
Dude,
a lot of them reside there.
Go and look at the Rob and Kale Facebook page. And this guy, I think his name is Dylan Sparks. Go and look at the comments he had yesterday about he ripped the whole show and said I knew nothing about football, and I mean,
well, it's funny they'll never call in and put their face behind their comments.
Look at my dog. He looks like a dingo.
He doesn't like
old Ziggy. Name a better hound on YouTube than Ziggy.
You can't do it.
All right, Chris, welcome to the program.
What's up, y'all? It's been a while now.
What's going on? It's been a hot minute.
It's been so long I grew hair.
Your head and left, man. What happened?
I was about to say, it's been so long I grew hair, and I've been here. I've just been in the comments. I've been listening. I've just been around. But anyway, you know, like I really do sincerely congratulate that. I'm glad that Tennessee stuck up for themselves, right? But all that talk about Nico gonna be the top, he gonna be the top, he the crystal ball. I'm trying to figure out where that crystal ball is going now, because it ain't gonna be Tennessee.
Well, and the thing is, the effect this is gonna have, especially if Nico goes out and actually gets the $4 million he wanted. How many other star players at Tennessee might follow suit, or across the country, you could say? The thing is, it doesn't even matter that Tennessee cut him. What matters is if a team is going to pick him up for that $4 million he's asking for.
After everything we've heard and all the allegations, everything else, I would be stunned if one of the top Power 5 teams picked him up.
Well, the thing is,
I think somebody picks him up and pays him exactly what Tennessee was paying him.
I think UCLA rolls out the Brinks Chuck, man. I mean, they just did it on that basketball cat. I don't see why they wouldn't do it for him.
Well, they're going to make an enemy out of themselves.
Nobody cares about UCLA football, though. Well, I mean, they don't have the money.
True.
For that.
Well, I mean,
UCLA
really
is
gives
irrelevant. This guy obviously doesn't care anything about trying to win a championship. Like I said,
yeah, no.
At least Tennessee, he had some kind of a hope and a prayer of playing in the conference championship game. Maybe if everything fell,
Hey, can I put out a name here that might nobody's really talked about, but just would be the ultimate kind of like, Mike Norvell at Florida State loves his mercenary players.
That's a good point.
Why not go down to
Florida that too.
Where the whole thing is come get your bag, just play well. That's how Norvell works. Wouldn't surprise me if he said, you know what, I might end up down there.
What's the worst that can happen? What, they win two games last year?
Yeah,
I would.
I'm telling you, that kid weighs $165. He will be broken into about 12 pieces at some point. Somebody's going to hit him
at some point when they face an SEC school.
Well, you got to get to the playoffs for that now.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. No, ACC, they got there's nothing wrong with them. I talk a lot about SEC, but it's just talk.
Yeah.
I think Clemson's a good program.
Can make Florida State a 4-win team this year. He should go down there.
Who did Florida State beat besides Charleston Southern?
Oh God, I don't. Hold on, I have to look. Jackpot. That's a good question. I don't remember.
I think it was Boston College. Was it?
That's right. Yeah, they got him in overtime or whatever. So
I am. If you're looking at, I am looking. I hope that they do change. I don't know. I think that teams are getting away from the spring games, but I'm telling you, like this South Carolina thing, it really does upset me. Living so far away, or not that far, but North Carolina. I really enjoy watching it on TV, and for it to be taken away, man, it's kind of.
Well,
you got to think they only been on TV for like a few years.
True.
Yeah. And honestly, it'll probably find its way on YouTube. I know a lot of the ones, at least last year and years prior, the ones that weren't aired, because I think a couple of the SEC ones weren't aired, but they found their way on YouTube. So it's unlikely, but there could be a full one on YouTube.
I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I think the university will release some plays or whatever, but as far as all of it, it's owned by the SEC, and it'll go to their network, and maybe they'll put it up on.
But one thing you can't transfer in the conference in the spring.
Yeah.
Why is that? Is that to protect the outgoing institution, like you taking their plays with you or something? I mean. Is that what that is?
I don't know. I mean, it's something that the SEC implemented.
I mean, you could do it. I mean, you could do it. You could do it in the fall too. I mean, it's not like I think it's kind of silly. If you want to have a portal, you should have it.
Some kids want to be like, hey, why can't I transfer in and sues?
Well, if he really wanted to, honest to God, he could probably transfer into a SEC school, start a litigation, and he'd have a fucking positive verdict in his favor.
He'd have a case. I'm not saying it's right, but he'd have a case.
Yeah. Chris, the one thing you do got to look forward to, remember,
discrimination.
What I was gonna say, Chris, one thing you still do got to, I know you're a little perturbed about the spring game not being aired, but I think in lieu of our spring game not being aired, we had to sign a deal where basically we let people in and record our spring practices. And what they're gonna do is it's like a Hard Knocks style kind of Netflix series, and South Carolina is going to be featured on that for their spring practices in this current year.
So they're putting all the spring stuff behind a paywall, basically.
Yeah, it's going to be on the Netflix
for that.
But getting like I think that's really interesting, like a Hard Knocks style kind of college show. It could do some big numbers. I'm excited Carolina is going to be a part of it. Yeah. So.
Hey, Jackpot.
I'm just wondering, is it going to be like a single or like a series, like different teams that choose?
Yeah, it's different teams. Yeah. So I looked it up. I think a couple. I want to say like 3 or 4 SEC teams signed up, and there are a couple more across the country. But But yeah, it'll be it won't follow one team like Hard Knocks does. It'll be kind of encompassing a couple different ones. It's mainly just focusing on like how the spring is going and like D1 football programs, stuff like that.
Yeah. What were you saying, Squid? Were you gonna?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. I found the portion of my vlog where Boogie Bentley shouts you out. You want to go ahead and see that?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
let's check that out.
Okay, let me put up my screen.
Yeah, hit the share screen.
You'll love this, I think.
Rob will probably have to approve it.
Hold on, let's see here. Yep.
All right, tell me if you can hear this.
This guy.
You want to do a score prediction?
What do we do?
You can hear that, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Do a score prediction.
I'm going to say Tennessee wins today.
That's good. You got a score?
Here's my child.
Oh,
my child Luke.
oh.
My little child Luke. Anything else? What do y'all want to ask me?
I'm asking you for a score. Like, let's get an actual score prediction.
3-2. That's what I'm going with today.
The correct answer is 100-0, but you're getting there.
Okay.
You're
Am I
getting
going to
there.
be in the title of this video? Is it going to be Boogie Bentley talking about? Or are you going to be like that dickhead over at the South? What's his name? The South Carolina guy.
Carolina Jackpot.
Yeah.
Carolina
You're gonna
Crackpot.
You're gonna put me in the title of this video so you get views like he does. Hope you're having fun delivering potato chips. But anything else?
I want see if I was Carolina Jackpot, I personally want to take that, but that's a whole nother thing for a whole nother
Well, you
day.
can come find me. I'm right here. G10 Parking Lots. Come down. We'll throw hands.
You heard him, Jackpot. You heard him. You heard him. You heard him.
You would pay to. You think that's a thing?
Yes.
WWE match incoming.
Yeah.
Boogie Bentley versus Carolina Jackpot.
Jackpot. This guy wants to.
So there you go.
Where?
Thing is,
I wore a mustard bottle costume to this spring
well, that's
game.
actually hilarious. But also, I noticed something. The guy flexing. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The guy flexing his finances and his W-2 from YouTube is drinking the cheapest fucking beer money can buy. I mean, he's one step from a natty ice. And he wants to compare paychecks at any point. This dude is drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon. I could go to a bar in Clemson right now and get that shit for $2 at bar prices. And he wants to compare any type of finances.
The guy wants to do it.
I'm not kidding. I think they get coupons for that.
It looked like his son was like a fan, and
That's
like,
funny.
Yeah, and his
Yeah.
son
Oh,
was
his
like,
son piped right up. What's the Carolina guy's name? Like he didn't. He knew. What's the Carolina? His son was like Carolina Jackpot. He just pops it off in like 2 seconds flat.
He must think of you every day for that to so unprompted of a response to what Squidtard said. I mean, he just said, "Oh, it's 100-1." Oh, are you one of those assholes from the Carolina channel? Oh, what's his name, dude? For him to just think of that first thing tells me he thinks about you every day, Kale. I don't know what else you could draw from that. I mean, that was so unprompted. It's just weird, to be quite honest. Like, I would never go up and just use Billy for an example. If I'm talking to a Tennessee fan, I'm like, are you one of those fucking old guys who sits on a recliner? Like, no, it has nothing to do with Billy. Like, it's just weird.
Are you one of those Billy Cole minions?
Yeah, right. So weird. And then just like, come find me, dude. Like, what?
Hold on, really quick, Jackpot. You remember when Vince McMahon was training to like fight Stone Cold, and like Shane McMahon was like his coach, and they were doing all the Rocky stuff. we should get Peckerhead to train you like that. Have you running around doing sit-ups and shit.
Oh God! Oh yeah, no.
Hey, I'll get you down to a smooth 180, Kale. You'll be fit and ready to whoop his ass.
Wayne says that's my choice. Wet drink, Pabst in East Tennessee, buddy. Sorry, we're not white clawing it, and that's not really his son. That's a fake son.
Yeah, that's a Yingling right there.
That's a man's beer, buddy. Take notes. Take a screenshot. I know y'all probably don't know what men drink in Tennessee. Sorry, Squidtard. Okay. But one of your representatives was just caught with absolute piss water. I don't think I would drink Pabst Blue Ribbon if I was in the middle of a fucking desert.
What are they charging $15 for PBR up there?
They must be the
Well, wait a minute.
NIL PBRs.
Wait a
It's got to
minute. I
go
have
toward
the
Nico's
picture of
NIL.
the two Tennessee fans sharing a Bud Light. Remember that, Jackpot?
Matt Shaw says, Kel Hall, do your favorite wrestlers impression one time. Dusty Rhodes summon. Well, that Tennessee Booger Pot, he done put hard times on Carolina Jackpot, baby. He done put hard times on Carolina Jackpot, calling him out for no reason, baby.
I can say for most of us Carolina fans, I think we've given up on baseball. I'm a softball fan now.
Now softball, fuck, I can't get behind that, big bro.
Right,
I cannot get behind that.
Softball.
I don't.
You're gonna turn into a Florida man.
Hey, they're doing all right though. They're doing better than baseball. They got
The thing is, what the best thing to do is just forget we have a baseball team.
true,
You know,
true.
They don't even they don't show the games on TV for a reason, Chris.
Guys, I got to skedaddle on out of here, but I appreciate you letting me on.
Thank you. That was amazing. I want you to send me that. So you guys send me that on
Twitter.
Twitter.
I'll post. I'm gonna post that on Twitter. That section where Boogie calls you out. I'll post it on the Twitter. And I'll say Boogie Bentley calling out Carolina Jackpot. Will he take this? And I guess we already know your answer.
I'm gonna go have fun on Twitter with that. Make sure that
that was sad.
Hey, go subscribe to Squid Tard. He's good people. Hey, Squid Tard, call back in more. You're a gem. You're a gem when you call in. We need more of it.
I'll do what I can, fellas. All right,
of course, sir.
Love
you.
All right, there you go.
I don't know. It's just hilarious to me that these smooth brain idiots make fun of me doing the potato chips. Like they act like I have a little cart and wagon or something, and I'm just delivering a bag of chips to like the general store or something. They're not, I get paid commission for what I'm selling in. I have to pay my own taxes, buy my own gas. This is actually a legitimate business here. I'm running.
And also the thing is, like you push the popcorn around at the baseball stadium. Go, get your popcorn.
I know that's what I mean. That's almost like the level of what they're acting like I'm doing here, which is.
And the gist of what we just heard on that video, take it for what you want, W2 or not. I mean, you've got an unemployed motherfucker sitting there besmirching a working man. This dude sits at his fucking desk and just Johnson in hand decides to go, oh, how can I pump some more sunshine for Tennessee? And he has the gall to, without any sort of provocation, insult the working man.
Don't forget the
to their
PBR.
credit. I mean, to their credit, I guess they've had what was I going to say? They've had like content just basically ready made for the past few days. So
yeah. All right. Well, gentlemen, I have to get out of here.
Yeah, can I do a little call off? I'll be brief.
Sure.
Go Gamecocks, Tennessee. You reap what you sow. I don't feel bad for you. You created this NIL landscape. It all started with those fucking McDonald's bags, and you just kept pushing the NCAA further and further and further. I don't want to hear, oh, I don't want a quarterback that's not bought in, because all I heard was Nico for Heisman. All right. You'll be lucky if you win. I'm not going to say it. I got you at 9. I got you at 1 game less. You lost the game because you were too cheap to pay your quarterback, even though you created this whole fucking landscape yourself. So, no, I don't feel bad for you. No, nobody feels bad for you. And the only reason that anybody's giving you any credit is because they're too stupid to realize you created this whole fucking landscape yourself. So, enjoy it.
Damn, this is a mic drop times 10.
All right, bye. There you go. Bye, Chris. Have a good night. All right, there we go. Jackpot, it's been a good show, buddy.
All right, sir. I appreciate it.